Alright, so right now we're looking at the seat. I have to recover this seat. I had it covered, but I didn't have seat rails on it. Just so you know, this is for a truck that's not, it's not a show truck by any means. I just need a working seat. I'm covering it in Cordura, olive drab Cordura, since it's an old army truck. Anyway, had way too much foam in this thing. And the problem I'm running into is clearancing the back seat, the back pad. So I took some time and I cut the foam about in half, and now I'm going to recover it with the same piece of Cordura. And since this is not going to be a show truck, I'm doing this to make it just a work truck. I'm just going to be doing a quick upholstery job using hog rings. We have the seat structure here. It's old and jankety. I've already covered the springs with a black piece of Cordura there so that the springs aren't cutting up the foam. Here's the foam. Doesn't have to be pretty, it's just gotta be soft. I'm about to start binding this to the frame with hog rings, which you can get at your local hardware store. Hog rings and hog ring pliers, or it might be called shoat rings, depending on what brand you get. First problem I ran into with this was Lucille kept stealing my foam and sleeping on it, so I couldn't use it. So I had to take the other piece of foam and make her something to sleep on. So anyway, that said, I have to do a few repairs on this frame, binding where these two structures meet. See, there's three structures. Here's the seat runners, here's the base, and then here's the springs. So I have to make sure that the springs are secured to the base. The base is now bolted to the runners, so gotta tie it all together. So I'm gonna do that first, and then I'll get started with hog rings. All right, so I've gone through and I've secured the springs to the substructure, which is already bolted to the rails. I'm gonna go through now and connect this Cordura, hog ring it to this whole thing. Just getting it centered here. I want it so that when this foam rolls down over this stuff, that it's covering these hog rings, so I'm not feeling it in my tush when I'm driving. Basically, anything sharp you want to have rolled under so that it's not piercing your seat covering. All right, to do the hog rings, this is the hog ring pliers. Just like that. Hog rings going like that. I usually like to bunch up the material here so that you have more to grab onto. It's less likely to tear that way. But before you start bunching it up, always load a hog ring in there because it's really hard to do one-handed. Take the hog ring once there. Take another pliers here. Just tighten it down the rest of the way. The thing is, this hog ring pliers is good, but only get it so tight. Tight enough for a hog's nose. This will get it tight enough for the upholstery. Now I'm starting in the center of the back and working my way to the side. As I go, I'm pulling it tight so that there's no bunching up of material. This is what I'm using for hog rings. This is actually the area here. This is left open because in these cabs, this is where the under the seat tank filler net goes. But I don't have that, and I'm not planning to get one, so covering her up all willy-nilly. Be careful with these, they are sharp. Now normally, you wouldn't be doing this on a dusty shop floor, but normally you wouldn't be doing this with hog rings and cordura either, so it's just what we're working with. Now we're to the front. I might actually just loosen this. Okay, so taking that off. Let's bring it just a little bit. Okay, so I took the seat rails off, so I have more room to work on this. Because we want to get in on it like this. What do you think, Lucille? Okay. So, on this one, I really want to pull it tight. Because I don't want it to be all nimbly-pimbly. And again, a lot easier if you load that hog ring first. Once you stick yourself with one of these hog rings, you start to feel sorry for hogs. making this into a drinking game, you could take a drink every time I forget to put a hog ring in the pliers. Before I tighten everything. All right, she's starting to look like a seat. Man. Oh, she's ugly, but it sure is comfy.